One moment. Okay, well, thank you so much, Anna and Toom, for joining me tonight. I'm Dr. Elise Stephenson, the curator of the Young Entrepreneurs and Leaders Speaker Series, and this is our roundtable on what next, exploring young entrepreneurship opportunities, what it's been like coming through COVID, and where can we go next here tonight. Really lucky to be running these workshops as part of the Australia-ASEAN Council, supported by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade in Australia. And Anna and Toom, I really want to get stuck into kind of asking you guys and talking with you. I know that you're both incredible business people in your own rights, but can you tell us a little bit about your business? You know, its name, what do you do? You know, what size is your company? How long have you been operating? We'd just really love to hear kind of all about what it is that you do. And feel free for either of you to start.
Well, okay, would you mind? I'd like to start. Okay, thanks, Anna, for having me today. I'm so delighted in having an opportunity to share what I have been doing. So my name is Toomkham. I'm currently the managing director and the founder of SS Grow company. We call the Sumsun Agro. That's the mean in Laos is like community agriculture. So I got the inspiration in setting up this company from my 2 years spending times working for the 2 agriculture companies from Vietnam as a consultant. I was appointed to work on behalf of the company working for the fair trade license and global gap. It means good agriculture practice, aiming to support the farm partners who are running the productions, and we need some sort of the standards for exporting to some European countries. And we want to make sure that every single step, every single things should be documented, you know, in the system. And we try to help the partner to get that license under the standard. However, it requires a lot of energies, money, and everything. And my 2 years working as a consultant for them, I learned pretty much about agriculture, about how good of farmers, how well they are in doing something in the farm. However, some of the, the constraints have found a lot along the cycle and ecosystem that they've been doing, because in Laos, agriculture is not new, but is like never get updated. So that's why I got from those inspiration and work with my partner Food in Vietnam, that okay, we have experience, we have system, and we have like market links and network. Why don't we set up the company, the proper company in Laos, in supporting the Lao farmers who won't be able to understand what the license important for their products. And for example, for passion fruit in Laos, I can say is the most delicious passion fruit in the world. I can be proud of that. But however, under the trademark of other countries, it's really sad, you know, when my passion fruit from Pak Song, and then under the name of product of Vietnam or other like Thailand. So Laos is like a hidden country that people don't know the name, that is a place where they can grow the passion fruit based in the world. That's why I registered the company, and I decided to work with some of the partners who already, you know, have the capacities in farming system in the market and etc. But I want to be the one that who link the Lao farmers and agriculture to other like partners and the stage and the standard. That's what I'm planning to do. And yeah, hopefully soon I will have something else, because we have some slow moving due to the COVID, but I will explain soon for the next question. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks so much. And Toom, how long have you actually been running this kind of new business that you created with your business partners?
So I registered last year in June. And at the same time, we got one small project working with ILO International. to provide the techniques of planting passion fruit to help rural families in rural area to have extra income, so they stop burning the trees and they have the job right in the communities. I'm gonna show soon some pictures and the story of the 5 hectares. It can help 26 households, totally nearly 100 family members relying on that passion fruit plantation. And now they have like the fruit, and in June we're gonna do harvesting. That's really small project, but really proud project that we turn the dry, empty land and people unskilled in farming, and now we turn them to be green, to be a land of passion fruit. And the household of the village people, they really keen on the techniques. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so cool, and would absolutely love to see some of your photos of that too. Just super inspiring. Anna, if I can turn to you, tell me about your business, because I know you do so many cool things, and very, very inspiring kind of to have this, I guess, a retail shop. But please tell me more. What do you do? Name, who do you work with? What do you deal with? I'd love to know.
First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Elise, for having me, and great to meet you, Toomkham. I find your story very inspiring, and I feel that I may have heard about your company before. It sounds very familiar. So yes, great story. I'm super inspired right now. A little bit about me. So I'm Anna, and I just moved back to Laos 2 years ago. And the 2 businesses that I currently own and operate in Laos is Haus Laos and also ANG consultancy firm. It's been very challenging when I moved back with culture shock and with what to do with my background as a marketer and a journalist. But I decided to start my own a small retail company called Haus Laos. Is an online boutique wine store selling natural and biodynamic wines from around the world. So I've been doing some research if I could grow vine grapes in Laos, but fortunately, we can only grow table grapes here. So now I'm only importing, but hopefully in the future I can do something more. So yes, Haus Laos is operating via Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram shop at the moment, but I am developing a mobile application. It's being developed by Drop-in-X, which is one of the very first few Lao tech company. And the application is looking amazing, and it's going to be like a subscription style wine business that you can purchase wine doing a palate quiz, which is pretty exciting. I'm hoping to launch by the end of this year. But I've been operating Winehouse for 1 year now, since the first wave of COVID last year when I registered my company. Weird timing, but surprisingly a very good timing.
I can imagine.
Very weird timing. And in Haus Laos, there's only me, myself, as the founder, and my personal assistant, my ride or die. She does so many things for me, but mainly finance, tax and duties, and accounting. Whereas myself, I handle almost everything, marketing, content, product inventory, product logistics, ordering, everything, basically. So it's just me and my assistant, very small company. ANG consultancy firm, again, I registered and launched the company second wave of COVID this year. Weird timing again, but surprisingly, it took off really well, same as Haus Laos. It's a consultancy firm focused on helping people to develop their own businesses and brands. Boutique brands, like it can be health and beauty, cosmetics, gourmet food products, mineral drinking water, up until hotels and apartments, restaurants and bars and cafes. So it's been doing really well, but with only 2 months launch out. So it's still pretty new, but I'm really excited to move it forward. Just because I have quite a good portfolio from Australia, as I do own a few businesses in Melbourne with my brother. So I think ANG is more of a inspiration for people to really find something they're passionate about and they can develop their own brands and businesses for now. And I'm giving out free consultancy for the next few months, just to help people get some ideas and inspirations. And also it's a very difficult time. And I think that's what people need most, is to find that encouragement and inspiration. So yes, those are my businesses for now.
Wow, so amazing, and such a serial entrepreneur too. Really cool to hear. Not only do you have two businesses in Laos, but also businesses back in Australia. And it sounds, you know, I guess I'd be interested in hearing from both of your perspectives. It sounds like this following the entrepreneurial path and doing your own business has really, I guess, opened doors in terms of your personal and professional development, and maybe fulfilled something that I don't know, an employee-employer relationship didn't, or
pretty much. I think well, because you know, I've only worked for organizations before, you know, creative marketing agency, advertising agency. So coming back and becoming an entrepreneur and back home in my home country, it's been very challenging. Handling different tasks and chores as a business owner has been quite challenging, but at the same time, I think is you know, instant skill building. So it's been great.
Absolutely. For both of you, thinking about the work that you do, because it is in quite different spheres, and even within, you know, all your business operations and are quite different spheres. For both of you, how have you felt that COVID has affected your business, particularly given that they are all quite young businesses too?
Well, because my business was set up during the time that COVID just happened in Laos. I mean, the outbreak happened in Laos, and we set up with the aims to realize on how important of setting up in-house or in Laos good farming system, encouraging people to be self-resilient, because Laos is like the imported country, and we import a lot of things from neighbors. And during the COVID time, I saw lots of like people, they really be aware of be self-resilient. They plant things by themselves, and lots of information of farms, of fruit, of veggies, you know, posted in the social media. And that's how I came up with, we didn't know Laos so well. We didn't know the production so well in Laos, because there is no data center or even some organization that you can pop in and you can seek some information, what kind of fruits grow well in Laos, in which area, how production, and etc. So, and this kind of information we've been missing, and we have a lack of those information. But during the COVID time, I saw people start sharing, posting, selling, and the online marketing is getting, viral during that time. And I try to grab, wow, they can plant lemons in Savannakhet, and the lemon from Australia, for example, that's really good quality. And why I didn't heard about that before. And you know, the market responds about the lemon so well. But the only thing is the value chains and the post-harvesting preparation that the farmers, they focus on the techniques, of course, but they would be lacking of something like the market linkage, and someone who can you know, work with them, how the price can be guaranteed, how the fruit and the food losses can be saved, for example. That sort of information that I grabbed during the COVID time. And what if there are some company, you know, who can link the markets, who can link some of the technique system or whatever the trainings on the financing, accounting as well, because working with farmers, the language that you speak with them is totally different. The language of being a real entrepreneur is not there yet. So sort of trainings for being the entrepreneur, for being, you know, the accountant person to control the whole expenses in the farm, the labor cost and everything. So there's sort of trainings that we need to input and provide them more. But right now it's kind of like farmers work individually and they just calculate with no logical, you know, numbers that can tell them when they're gonna have the profit, or is that the real profit that they are making right now, and how they can manage better, for example. That's why the COVID gave me some challenges, and at the same time I found some opportunities, and it lead to, you know, some partnerships with other partners who are already in the industry and who found the same problems. But we need, like, you know, to work together to see if you can do this part better than me, so we can exchange and share. So I think what my company is looking for is partnership, because I can be better in trainings, in financing, accounting, and marketing, or market access, but I have nothing about so many things, so partners can fulfill on this part for me. And COVID time, of course, is challenge. It slows so many things. Actually, I have to travel to the farm, to visit the farm, to provide sort of training and checking the whole outcome during this time. But during to the COVID and the lockdown, I could not, but I just keep following up. And I also, you know, get some partner in the loop. So one day when, you know, the time allows, so we can work more closely with partner and move some other projects, especially the solar dryer project that can save the food losses in some local rural areas. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, because it is such a being there and working with individuals and farmers, and, you know, being you know, not all of those processes can you just move online, for instance. That's not really possible, you know, for lots of reasons, I imagine. How have you, or how have you been coping, I suppose, particularly during the lockdown periods then? And I understand that you're still in a lockdown currently.
Yeah, this would be like the second or third lockdown in Laos, I mean in Vientiane especially. So I still keep working and following up with some other team in the field to following up about the whole farms and the problems. But however, we have, because we service under the service of ILO International, so we're so lucky that we have the ILO team, they're over there. And they supporting us in the checking the whole requirements, sent over email that we want to check, and we need to put in the report. And yeah, next month is the harvesting season.
Yeah.
We really busy and excited for the first time, you know, harvesting in the area. We need to work a lot with the local authority in the tax, in some of the issues on documentation as well. Moving products from place to place, we need lots of preparation. So it requires a lot of time in working together with other partners in the farm. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, that's very, you know, really incredible and impressive to have partnerships with ILO, though, you know, such a massive organization who can kind of throw their weight behind your business, and, you know, less than 12 months in, which is pretty exciting too. And for you, what has kind of COVID been like? You said before that it's actually been quite good in terms of you feel like the wine house, it's kind of been the right timing in many ways. What's been the you know, effect, or yeah, your experience?
I think, as mentioned before, both my businesses were launched in the middle of lockdown and COVID-19, first and second wave. But funnily, I've been affected for both companies very differently. For Haus Laos, in the beginning, it was difficult. It is digital driven e-commerce store, and I was hoping that, oh, because it relies on the digital space, I wouldn't have to really worry about anything. But because natural wine and biodynamic wines, I'm the first importer and the first retailer. So wine drinkers here, they don't know about the product. And when it's about food and beverage, they need to do tasting. But because during March and April, it was lockdown and it was when I launched my company. So the first 2 months were very challenging and quite difficult to really promote the products themselves and to help people, customers and my target audience understand the products and the company. Was very difficult. But then in June, when everything was a little bit more better, no more COVID cases and things were back to more normal in Laos, I started hosting private dining events for Winehouse up until February this year. And it has been amazing. And I think those period of these private dining events where I collaborated with chefs, bars, restaurants, cafes, hotels, including Rosewood Supper Club, has been amazing in terms of marketing and really introducing natural wine to the Lao market, to understand its culture, how it's produced, the taste, and with food pairing as well. So I think for Haus Laos, the first 2 months, definitely very difficult. Despite it being e-commerce style business, I still needed face-to-face workshop and wine tasting in order for people to understand the product. So I guess from June last year up until this year, February, it was getting better. And I think Haus Laos really became together as a company and as a brand after 1 year of private dining events. So now I can really focus on the e-commerce store, and people don't really need me to explain too much, and they already know the products quite well. For A&G consultancy firm, very different, because everything done within the company can be remotely, and many people still prefers to talk virtually, like through Zoom, email, because they feel more comfortable. Just because sometimes it is very difficult for a person to really tell you what they want to do, and it could be more comfortable for them to send you an email and really tell their thoughts about what they want to do. So I think A&G, perfect timing, and I think the right kind of like tactic and business to go forward with during this time, as opposed to Winehouse that really struggle because it is still food and beverage and people need to taste.
Yeah, okay, that's so interesting, and yeah, absolutely makes sense. When you consider some of the tools or techniques that you've both used to navigate COVID, I mean, what's been most helpful? Has it been, networks, digital skills, I don't know, mentoring, resourcing? What's really accelerated or helped support your growth during this time?
Well, for the agricultural business, I think networking and mentoring in some areas are very important. As I said, I have to skip into my background is in financing and banking. I'm not born from agriculture, but I be familiar with agriculture. I know what I have. I know my background can fulfill something to help them. But some good agriculture practice, it requires a lot of the techniques related to farming system, related to food safety and warehouse system, etc. So of course, in this kind of business, we still need a lot of mentoring right to the TOT. Like me, I can set myself as a TOT. So I hope one day I can help so many farmers. But for farmers itself, they also need some of the trainings, some of the supports in terms of, getting them to somewhere with the products that they have. That's why I last year I started to run the small trading page like a Kong Di Meng Lao to help to bring out some of the good products from very rural area that so many Lao people didn't know that, wow, that's very good sort of products in that area. I want to introduce, I want to be like set up this one as a platform that people can search something that, okay, I can show you the information of the farm. Because before I getting those the products to promote it in my platform, I need to work with the farmers. I need to work with them on the ideas why I'm doing this, because I want to link them in the market. And the benefit of doing this in my platform is I can help the farmers, and at the same time I can match my clients in Vietnam or even in China when they are looking for fruits, for example, lemons. I also did export some lemons to Vietnam, and clients in Vietnam, they really, satisfied on the quality. However, during the COVID, it takes time to over the borders now, so it's gonna affect to the quality of the lemon. That's why we stopped exporting a little bit. And the wild honey, or even the mushroom in Siêng Khoảng province, lots of the good products haven't been told and haven't been shared the story to even the local people. And I think for the agriculture, they still need a lot of mentoring program to even the government people who is working on this particular sector, especially we mentioned about the good agriculture practice in Laos, the Lao Gap, for example. But when I ask who is the one who certified the gap like that, and no certified body, for example, if you know in-house or in Lao certified body, what you expect about the quality control. And if they, it's like my previous project, we hire someone from Vietnam and Thailand to provide the training on good agriculture practice. And if individual farmers, I dare to say, they have no money to pay that fees, but because it's under the program of IFC and New Zealand government on the Global Gap program. So, okay, people can be able, but as I said, after the training, we're tracking some of the requirements. So the investment required in improving those facilities. So that sort of like ecosystem, the government sector, the private sector, as I said, is missing something in between, like the ecosystem design, working along with the two sectors haven't been, in place yet. That's why it's still some problems now for agriculture. And I hope more training, mentoring program and exchanging program, it can help, because the standard is not really big deal, but how to get this the license to be said that okay, is in good standard and get the visa to export, that's really big step. Even the government, even prime minister put a lot of concerns on this, because the lack of the ecosystem. I always mention about this in every meeting that I have the opportunity to speak out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I can really see that. And yeah, I guess the importance, I mean, it seems like it'll be a long process to get where you need to go. And I know we've talked about kind of that whole piece around branding and certification too. Before I jump on to the next question though, which I do want to dig in deeper on that topic, Anna, from your perspective, what have been the big supports or tools that have been able to see you grow and thrive during this time?
I think as mentioned before, it has been quite difficult and challenging for everyone, especially business owners and entrepreneurs. But for me, I think before I get into the leadership program, I just wanted to say that I have actually been using the same digital tools that I use daily for my businesses. But because when business was operating quite in a fast pace, I think I never really had the time to strengthen my skills. So digital applications like Over, Canva, Hootsuite, and so many other that I use a lot of digital platforms. I think I have just been really focusing on learning more about the functionality of it. And it has contributed so much to both my businesses in the sense that I'm better at communicating to my customers with my better skills now. And also for marketing, the visuals and everything, really, it has helped so much. And I started downloading other applications like community applications, Hey Viva, Sisterhood, Help or something. Yeah. And basically we talk to women from around the world who own businesses and how they're coping with their situation in their country, which has been really helpful because I get to hear a lot of perspectives on the pandemic and how different businesses cope with the situation. So it's been very helpful to connect with those individuals as well. And also, of course, being a part of the leadership program for gender inclusion has helped so much. I've obtained a lot of resources, knowledge, network, everything. And being able to meet a lot of entrepreneurs from Australia, from Bangladesh, from Laos, and also women in Laos from public and private sectors, many from the ministries, which I think they has helped so much, and they message me directly and privately. They give me calls, we call each other. Great. Because I'm the youngest in the program, so
oh my god,
yeah. And they were like, oh, do you need any help? We know you just moved back and you just became an entrepreneur. We may be able to help logistically for my wines and how to handle so many things, because natural wine, the shipment comes in very small amounts just because they don't produce a lot of it. And I think I've been having a lot of problems with logistics and also yeah, many things. So I think the leadership program has actually changed my life as an entrepreneur and as an individual, pretty much.
That's awesome to hear. It's so often just those little networks, or, you know, having people that you know that you can call, and, you know, sometimes the solution is actually really simple, but if you don't know who even to approach, or you can't air these challenges to someone, then you're really lost and stuck. Yeah, okay, that's fantastic to hear. And I think, you know, both of you have alluded to kind of some of the challenges already, but for me, you know, looking ahead, there's going to be some specific challenges for entrepreneurs coming out of COVID, but also operating in, you know, what is kind of a changing environment. We don't really know where things will go. You know, entrepreneurship at its best is uncertain. If you do look ahead at the next few years, and I'm not sure what your business aims are, but, you know, where you see yourself in 10 years time, for instance, or 15 or 50 or whatever that might be, you know, what do you see as the challenges that you think you will encounter along that path, as well as maybe the opportunities?
Well, for agriculture, I mention all the times, we stick with the SDG goals. And in Laos, we have 18 goals, different from other countries. And the last goal, number 18, is UXO, because Laos is the heaviest bomb country. And why I keep mentioning about this, because it's the biggest constraints for agriculture. We hope every day when the farmers, they explore the new lands for cultivation, we hope that they are safe, because we don't know yet which area is safe for them, and it requires a lot of times in the getting the safety land for agriculture, and they need to work with the UXO to clean the land. And at the same time, for agriculture sector in Laos, is the most challenging thing is they like to set up the farm in very rural area, but the infrastructure haven't been improved. Even the electrics, the road access, and the water. So in agriculture, without water, you can't do agriculture. Without the safety land, of course, definitely you can start. And the electric power, we use some in the land, and if we use the solar, it requires a lot of investment. Individual farmers, they can't afford it. So those of challenges happening along the agriculture system, and the investment, the interest, the working cap, I mean, the access of finance in Laos is still being the big burden for the farmers to get the fund or special funds, special interest or incentive to encourage rural farmers to start even micro farms, you know. So we discuss a lot about this and the challenges like that. I think for 10 years, I hope to see something improve, especially the COVID time, and some funds set up properly to support the agriculture. And right now, the awareness of even young people, even the women in their hometown, in their community, because last couple months, I also be involved in the training of the youth agriculture in Sieng Khong province to promote the youth to start to, you know, to do the agriculture right in their hometown. So they don't need to move in the big city. And they create, you know, some jobs in the communities. And we want to see lots of young entrepreneurs like that in their communities to promote the empowerment of the youth in the area. And at the same time, we also see agriculture be involved in tackling the human trafficking, the drugs trafficking, and the climate change. Why I say climate change? Because they have no job, so they go to the forest, they burn the trees. In April season is the burning time we call in Laos. That's why smokes a lot in the north and even in some area. So that's why the government and poverty reduction program, they try to put agriculture. That's the best perfect choice to be promoted in the community. So when people in the community know how to do farming, know how to be self-resilient, selling something, I think it solves some of the problems of having, you know, youth labors in their hometown and families. And it can also solve, if people have jobs, of course, reduce a lot of the human traffickings, which is one of the biggest problems in Laos, especially in the north. So the agriculture is highlight the key that, you know, if we have very magical key to solve the problems that I mentioned in Laos. I think if we have some more support, and if we focus more in promoting agriculture in every single area, I think it also can solve the food securities, even in Laos, even in some other countries, that they have no lands and they have no water, or they don't have good soil quality. That's why the solar dryer that we are talking about right now in our project is we want to keep the food lost in the high season, that they have a lot of productions, and, you know, it can damage the price of the products for farmers. That's why we want to do separate the processing and the fresh product, so they can keep the balance of the production.
Yeah. Wow. And just, amazing in terms of some of those challenges. They're very real and, you know, non-navigable in so many ways. You know, the unexploded ordinances, it's just such a major issue. And until that's addressed, you know, having the safety and people's actual livelihoods is, you know, that's a massive risk, and really, so significant. For you, Anna, your challenges, I imagine, are slightly different, but there may be some similarities. What are you seeing going ahead in terms of those challenges to growth?
Well, for me, it is quite different, but we do have a lot of similarities as well in terms of challenges and also opportunities. To begin with, I think the digital-driven businesses have been picking up the trend and booming since before COVID, prior to COVID already. But I think the pandemic has really boosted its popularity and really pushing and driving people to do e-commerce style businesses. But with great opportunities in developing these businesses also comes great competition, more competition. And I think being on top of the game in the digital space is very difficult because everyone who decides to take their businesses into the digital space already has a lot of creative minds and they really know what they're doing. So I feel for me in the next 10 years, for sure, there will be more competitors and the market will be more competitive as well. I'm actually experiencing it right now so I always have to stay focused and really find inspiration every single day. It's a non-stop 24 hours just trying to keep up with the trends. The digital space is amazing to see, but also very scary at the same time. So I think in the next 10 years, especially after the COVID and with the new normal that people turn to digital, definitely will be very challenging. But then again, it also really drives me to keep on improving what I'm doing and skill building and always learning every single day, learning new things. So I guess challenges and opportunities, they come hand in hand. And in terms of taking my business further, I already expanded Wine House to Thailand with a Thai business partner. And now I'm also expanding to Australia in Melbourne, which I'm registering at the moment as an e-commerce business. So I think with my brother there and with a lot of network in Thailand, in Singapore, I feel that expanding is one of the best ways to grow because running a one-woman show is never easy. So it's good to have an army behind you. And I think in the beginning, I was like, I really wanted to focus on building the brand in the next 3 to 5 years. But then an opportunity came and I'm like, it's very difficult to do this alone during the pandemic. So that's why I decided to expand. And I think for me, in the next 10 years, 20 years is about expanding slowly, but is very necessary in order to really compete with the competitors. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's interesting. So this roundtable is the third roundtable that I've done so far. And the kind of topic of keeping up with the creative demand of social media it's really present. I mean, and I was talking to some businesses around, well, okay, if you are on social media, I mean, how do you choose which social media to use? Obviously Facebook is incredibly popular. Instagram stores are growing in use too, but then TikTok is where all the young people are at, so how do you balance? And that is quite a big drain on time and resources, and particularly if you are a one-woman show, as you say.
I think for me, research is key. Every day I'm on SimilarWeb, I'm on We Are Social, I'm on every single platform. I subscribe to them since I was still in Australia. So I think they are such powerful tools in keeping up with the insights of which social media or digital channel is best suited to your business. Like for me, surprisingly, a website is not very suitable just because when you buy food and beverage, it's always through an app. Because you want it now, you want to drink it now, you want to eat it now. It's very different to selling clothes or beauty products online on the website. And for Facebook, people are not as interested because they prefer to see Instagram stories and movement and, more of like a video platforms. So Instagram, mobile application, that's why I decided to invest on the mobile application. It's more interactive, more engaging. And I think keeping up with the trends, and every day you have to look at the insights. Like for me, what is the most downloaded mobile application in Laos, Southeast Asia, Australia, and getting the data insights on a daily basis is quite important. It really keeps you on track of what you need to do in order to really succeed in, exposing your business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can completely see that. And it ties in nicely. I really want to kind of, if we are looking ahead and already in this mind frame, I mean, for both of you, what could you see as being kind of most helpful in providing the support for this next phase of your business's growth? Is it something like mentoring or specific programs? Is it resource and financing? Is it, you know, getting more humans who can help you do the work? Is it research? What would help you most going forwards and coming out of COVID, perhaps in particular?
Well, in my business, I am planning to look for new investment, but I already have some, you know, potential in place. So far, I've been working with Covestro, a company who from Germany provide a solar dome dryer, and at the same time, I work with a local trading company who are interested in buying the products from the farmers after processing, and they will be like the co-brand with the cooperative group in the north. And yeah, sort of investment that we need to put for the first couple projects that we're gonna start after we heard something from GIZ, the German International Fund, that we already sent the application to get the grant, and along with our own investment to set up 2 solar dryer in the north. And we hope that with the local, or we call the ODOP, one district, one products, we want to promote that 1 or 2 particular products, and we want to do the branding and marketing, and we aim to export to Vietnam, which is we have really good market there and strong partner there. And at the same time, we're gonna invest more in the data center of agriculture members. So when people should, okay, in case, for example, one farmer, they want to share, like, if they want to plant something, they need to see the area close by and the market, you know, come up with lots of information and the data for them, so they can study before they make decision in investing or planting something. It means crops that you are going to plant, you have to make sure that you have the potential market. Otherwise, 3 years, 5 years that you spend lots of time and money in the farm and in agriculture, and the return with very minimal market, I don't think it's gonna be a good encouragement for them. So that's why me and my new partner, we are going to build a data center, and this center we will grab the whole information of the farmers who are our members, which is we already discussed with JICA, the Japanese Cooperative International, that we're gonna grab their members, and then we will set the platform and the system, and to support the farmer and matching, as I said, the productions together. And my trading company, I mean the partner, so they are looking for exporting some products to Australia as well.
Good.
And now it's under like our question, what kind of products? Because Australia, I mean, we've been familiar with Australia. I travel quite a lot of time in other states, and even passion fruit. I know that quality of passion fruit there is not good or you know, better than here, but exporting to over there, of course, logistic cost is way better than there. That's why I'm thinking, and I'm working with partner, but at the same time, I also want to grab some Australian partners to do something to promote agriculture in Laos. As I said last time, that Australian grown, why people really trust on Australian products. I want that kind of the same experience when people see Lao product, and it welcome in every single market, even the Asian country. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for from the business right now.
And yeah, I know we've talked about that one before too, and every time we speak about it, my mind is, you know, swirling with ideas, because I think you're absolutely right. It's so important to have some sort of national branding, particularly around food or kind of even health and beauty products, anything that's consumable, because you have to go to consumer trust. You have to, you know, indicate, yes, this is high quality, it's safe, you know, all of those other things that come into it. And it's really, really important, because although it's at a national level, it affects so many small businesses and entrepreneurs and individual farmers and all of the rest, that it's, you know, it's none of their responsibilities in terms of they can't do it on their own, but they benefit enormously from that brand. Okay, that's really good to hear. Some really tangible ways in which the further support could come. What about for yourself, Anna? What do you see as kind of key things that you'd really love to get further support in, or that could really boost you to get to the next phase?
More humans, definitely. Yes. I've been actually working on that, just recruiting experts, my marketing specialist, accountant, sales manager, product development, product inventory, just all the administration work and anything within the company. I am hiring at the moment, and I've interviewed quite a lot of people. I have my assistant, and she's from an ethnic minority group, Puthai, and then my kitchen staff are all from ethnic minority group and all women. So I think for me is, once I have the experts to really focus on the business side of both my companies, I can then focus on training my assistant, because she's amazing. She's a single mom, but now she lacks self-confidence. And I think to be able to look after my staff and my assistant and grow my company is to hire the experts and really get mentoring for myself, which I decided to apply for the leadership program for networking, and also for myself to train to be a better leader, and really to, you know, let my leadership skills shine, and so that I can come back to my company and help my employees as well. That's one thing. And I think second thing, expanding. Before that, I was looking to do so many businesses in Laos, using sourcing everything from Laos. But then I wanted to build a name first, because it was the first time I was an entrepreneur, and I was a little bit clustered and I didn't know what to do. And I think for me to take my businesses further, I would have to really focusing on building a name, and then for people to know that I am from Laos. You know, I started in Laos, and once I achieve that, then I can go on to create all the amazing products from here, and then really grow into many other things as well. And I really do want to take more time to do social projects like the one that I started from the leadership program, to build a platform to gather entrepreneurial leaders, and for them to also lead projects and share ideas on how we can help women in central and rural Laos to achieve their entrepreneurial dreams. So we can provide practical training, we can get funding, we can handle skill building workshops, which I think is really important. And so I think focusing on my business at the same time as doing social projects will really help me grow as an entrepreneur, because I think they do come hand in hand. Like what Toomkham is doing is definitely what I'm planning to do as well, is to do these things hand in hand. And I think this will help us grow, will be more acknowledged, and in that way we can grow our business very well and faster as well.
That's super cool. And Toomkham, you should keep in touch with Anna, because she is developing up this really cool project around women entrepreneurs and gender equality advocates across Laos. So it's very exciting to be watching from the sidelines.
Yes.
But this has been so amazing. Honestly, I only have one final question, and that is, what's your dream? Where would you love to see your business go? You know, are you aiming to be, exporting all around the world? Do you imagine head offices in half of ASEAN? Would you like to see it grow? Do you see yourself doing another business on top of this, or closing this business down for something else? Where do you see this all going?
Well, with some of the skills that I'm having and my new partner, I think we plan a lot of things in terms of getting our business to be like top of agriculture, who provide the consultancies to support the local farmers to get the standard and the data center where people can meet up, producer, buyer, and even the local government. I think we need to get more stakeholders to be involved in this platform and the journey. And for me, I want to see myself and my company to be someone else that can put the new name for Lao agriculture products. But it should be the most pride in the life when people touch the Lao product and Lao grown or Lao products of Laos. I want to see that products in other international markets, and I will rock Australian market as well, because it doesn't fair that Australian products here are really welcome in Laos. And I definitely want to rock it back. That
I love that.
This is the products of Laos appear in single supermarkets in Australia. Yeah, that's what I want to see my business and my farmers and my Lao local products in international market. Yeah.
That's so exciting, and I can't wait to see your products in Australian markets too. And you know, if there's any way I can help make it happen, trust me, I'm right there. Anna, what about you? What's the big dream?
Oh, I have too many dreams. I think
I love that.
One of the reasons why, or actually the main reason why I started A&G consultancy firm is because I have too many dreams, but I cannot do them all on my own. I cannot launch 100 different businesses. So I think I started the firm because of that, is to help people in Laos who really want to develop their own brands and products and help them develop so that we can put Laos in the market for so many different types of products, because we have amazing resources and we have so many talented people who are dreaming to become business owners and really export our products. Because like at Toomkham said, we import a lot of products, and I would love to see myself as being one of the people behind these drives and really help people achieve their dreams and make their products something very long-term, long-lasting. And I think that is probably my number one dream. Like I said, I want to do a lot of things, but I cannot. So I will help people do it, definitely. As for my existing businesses like Haus Laos, I am passionate about wine. It's like a lifestyle for me. I started because I love drinking wine with my family, being quarter French. So expanding it is one of my major dreams, and I never thought that I would be able to expand it to Australia, which I still call my second home. I still have my dog there, my apartment there and everything, and two of my businesses. So I feel the connection between me and the communities there is that I really want to expand there, and also to show them that even though I moved back here, because a lot of my friends, ex-colleagues ask me as well, are you sure you want to go back? It was really my comfort zone, because before I become an entrepreneur, I was a freelance and I worked in agencies before, and I feel that I was very comfortable. But when I moved back here, I actually became a business owner and a leader in some way, and expanded my business and grew my businesses really fast. So going back there to have my company name that I have in Laos to be there, I think will really, really earn me that credibility, one thing. And also is one thing for me to go back to. Like I can always go there and call it home, and also still have something to do there. And I think that is also my biggest dreams.
That is so cool. Talking to you both is ridiculously inspiring. I'm just going to switch off the recording. Thank you so much for your time, though. This has just been absolutely phenomenal.